Let's actually take a look at printfs today. So printfs are good for debugging because you can send text to the console on your desktop. Now let's start with opening the workspace we had last time, just so that all of our tutorials are done in the same spot. Now let's create a new project, and we can use the same setup as last time. Let's call this printf. Cool. Now, the way printf works is you're essentially sending the text over a UART, which then shows up on your desktop console. So we will start by creating this UART block on the PSoC. Got our baud rate. I'm just going to change the name of this to be UART. Now, just like we did before with the GPIO pins, we actually need to assign what the RX and TX pins for this are. So if we go back to our schematic that we used last time, you'll see that our PSoC 6 module, we have the UART here, and it seems like TX is on pin 5.1, RX is on 5.0. So you got TX on 5.1 and RX on 5.0. Great. Now the final thing we're going to do before building is we are going to go into build settings and peripheral driver library and enable this retarget IO. That is what will allow us to push the characters from UART over printf. So let's go ahead and compile this. All right, perfect. So the build is done. There's one last thing we need to set up here. Let me collapse this first. So in shared files, you'll see a file called stdio_users.h. And we need to configure something in here to make this all work. So let's start by include project.h. Project.h has the UART block we just made. And now we are going to connect the two together. So the standard out is the UART _HW. And this one is UART _HW. Cool. Let's go ahead and build that one more time. Now, all of our coding is actually going to be, let's do it on the Cortex M0. I could do it in the M4 just as easily. It doesn't actually matter. So this is the main file for the Cortex M0 Plus. Project.h, like I said, includes all of the stuff that you see essentially in here. You want to enable interrupts, and this we don't need. This starts up the Cortex M4. We're not going to use the Cortex M4, but we will just leave that there. Now we do need to include, to use printfs, stdio.h. Secondly, we actually need to kind of boot up our UART. So we're going to call UART start. One setting that we'll enable is UART typically buffers outputs. So in order for each character to show up as it's typed, we're going to set that buffer to 0. 0. Okay. And let's just create a character called C. And in our main loop, how about we get a character typed in from the console, and let's just print that character with like a period after it. So C. Cool, that's it. Let's give this a shot. Now we will do this, it doesn't matter which one you do, but let's just do it on the CM0. Okay, so our PSoC is programmed. The next thing we're going to do is figure out what COM port the printf is going to. So let's look at the device manager in Windows. And you'll see under ports, we should have the kitprog. So it seems like it's on COM port 4. And let's open up our terminal. I'm using PuTTY, so you can use PuTTY as well if you'd like to. We'll go to serial, COM port 4, and the baud rate we saw in the settings for the UART is 115200. Okay. And let's type hello world. So you'll see there's a period after each. So it's getting the character into the PSoC. The PSoC adds the period and then sends it back.